Hello and welcome along to Mondo Chelloveck Movies. My name is John. And this video is going to be one that I wanted to make, and I wanted to make it in a better fashion. But unfortunately, a large amount of my collection of vinyl got water damaged. Now, a little bit of a backstory behind that. It's kind of my own fault. In the studio, it's not a garage. I had a large portion of it carpeted. Now, that was great, and the carpet was a very dark carpet. I might put some photographs in here if I can find some. We moved in this house about 23 years ago. I had it all like stacked in these boxes, and I thought I'll get them out of the boxes and have a good look at them. In my studio, I've got a record player, and what I thought I would do was get some of these vinyl out. Unfortunately, I got the vinyl that I would most listen to, and I put them all in the section right in the corner, away from where this, flood happened. Not that I knew the flood happening. I put them in the corner and I left them there, and I thought, right, I can go down there. I mean, what I thought about this, I can have like a vinyl playing room, and I can go and listen to vinyl in the garage, sorry, studio, and then I can listen to that, and that's all great. So there's a drain in the studio. Now, I'm not too sure if the water came from the drain. I don't think it did, but for some reason, the carpet got saturated. Now, the carpet was dark. I mean, it's my own fault. You know where I'm going with this. So it got saturated, and then what happened was that water tracked up to where the vinyl was. Now, Deborah says, in her wisdom, and it was wisdom, you better watch that vinyl. And I said, it's all right, it hasn't got there. The drain's quite a distance away from the vinyl. Well, of course, I didn't know it, but it tracked all the way to the vinyl because the vinyl was kind of out of the way, right in the corner. If I've got a photograph, I'll put it on to show you the layout of it, and I'll try and highlight where the drain is. Even though I think that it was probably coming from the washing machine. But anyway, so what had happened was, after months, I went to get some some vinyl out. I thought, oh, I'm going to listen to some vinyl now because this cork dried off after maybe a week or two. Never thought anything of it. But in the meantime, all the vinyl, and I mean all the vinyl that was there, got saturated. The water's tracked up into the vinyl. And when I went to get to it, the vinyl was kind of drying out, but it was all stuck together. And I could not believe what I was seeing. So what I did was I just did what any person who's just had a large portion of their a large portion, Michael,
Where's me ladders?
of their collection destroyed. I kind of just turned away and didn't look at it. Now I have built a new storage part for my vinyl, so I put it's all off the ground now. So if there was any water in there, it wouldn't get anywhere near it, which is what I should have done in the first place. Never thinking about it. But what it is I've got some stuff here to show you. Now I've got a handful of stuff here, and what I want to do with this vinyl is I was gonna just go ahead and get all this vinyl out, which is all stuck together. I can't believe it. And even when I'm just looking at the first one, when I picked all this stuff off, I got it to a place where it wasn't too bad to wrench away from the other things. And you're just seeing vinyl after vinyl where you think, I can't believe this one's here, I can't believe this one's here. And to be honest, I've never looked at this since this happened, this stuff, apart from when I moved in. I didn't really look at them there because it fills you with despair. I might imagine if you've got, say, for instance, you've got these things, your slip covers that you love. And this is the form of having slip covers. If you've got covers on your vinyl, I consider it to be that way. And you put them out somewhere and they all get damaged and you forget about them. I don't forget about them, but you don't go to them quickly enough. And you've got to peel all of these apart, and you know everything that you're going to take off is going to ruin every single slip cover that you've got, or say 70% of it. I mean, imagine how you would feel there. And this is a bit like this with this vinyl. I've looked around on the net and I can't really find a way to get these to like come off in the best fashion. But probably the only way you can do is to take them off. Know that you're going to damage the cover. But the covers, as you're going to see, aren't the greatest anyway. So anyway, I picked up this chunk, and this is what they look like on the bottom. I mean, they are really, this is where they were standing, and these here, you can see most of them are stuck together, and it's soul destroying because these were in fantastic condition. Now, on the plus side, if there's a plus side, I think the vinyl inside is okay. I don't really know. I think it might have some kind of mold on it, but I think it'll be mold that you can just wipe off. Fingers crossed. So anyway, I'm going to go through this, but on these ones, I'm gonna have to pull them apart like I've done in a few over there, I've got a couple of 12 inches there that I've already done it on. I can show you what they are. And I mean, this is stuff that I treasured when I was a kid. And if anybody knows me, they know that I just was just so, with these things, I just used to love them, used to really look after them. At this time, I'm probably going to take all the vinyl out, clean them all up, and at least have the vinyl to listen to. That's about the best I can get from this, possibly. Don't think I can rescue any of these sleeves. Right, so here we go. Now, I'll do this, and you'll probably, if any vinyl people are there, I do apologize for this because this is like not what you would want to see on a vinyl thing. So I'm going to go through this. I've got, well, these come away, so I don't have to do any ripping and tearing now, but I'm going to have to do this. And this is the imagine how soul destroying this must be to someone who's loved these vinyls, but you won't be able to hear this because this camera doesn't pick it up. But this is not the noise that you want to hear when you're going through, when you're doing things. You know you're going to ruin this when you get pull them apart. It's just the thought of this is just. I mean, this is something I've put off for the longest time. I mean, years you're talking about. I just hope that they come apart and I don't actually. Well, the wow. You don't really realize how bad this is when you until you start to pull these apart. I knew this was going to be not a difficult one because I've resigned myself to know that this is not going to be a happy ending. But you never know. Somebody might come up with an idea, uh, and whoa, there's the things growing in here. I can actually, if I'm going through these, I can tell you a little bit about them. Yeah. So yeah, I think there's some sort of like little flies around, which is even better, isn't it? So first up here, and these are all destroyed, basically, is and what I don't want to do is I could look up these on Discogs and see what they're kind of worth, because these would be worth I know they're worth a fortune anyway, but I could look up on Discogs and I can say, right, what is this worth? And if it's worth a lot of money, it'll be even more depressing than, it just being a couple of quid. I mean, these could be a couple of quid, but there could be much more than that. So first up is the Angelic Upstarts Angel Dust, which is the Collected Highs. This is an album that I played all the time. Big fan of the Arctic Monkeys. What am I talking about? So yeah, so I mean, come on, this is just now this is the first time I've been at any of these ones, and they are dry, but yeah, that's going to be a big cleanup on this. Yeah. Now, this looks a bit bad. I mean, I'm not somebody who touches vinyl at all. This stuff will come off. It will come off, and I will probably get this vinyl to a satisfactory. But this bit here will probably be suffering as well. I'll probably, if you were going to sell, I don't know if you're going to sell this. I don't know what I'm going to do with this type of thing. What I would like to do is I would like to play it again, but definitely going to have to get some more inner bags, which I haven't got. I would. So what I'll do is on this video, I will um, put these together. These you know this vinyl I put together. I mean, it's just really this smells. It's so feisty. It's unbelievable. But this is a great album. So what things do I really like on here? There's Solidarity. I love that song. Never Had Nothing. I'm an Upstart, obviously. We're so Crashed Out, who supported the Dickies recently. So Menzies there has recently just passed away, and the singer from Crashed Out was a close personal friend of him. So they paid tribute by that. And I think he sang for the Angelic Upstarts before this singer. And what's another one that's a great one? Shotgun Solution. Thought that was a great one. And yeah, it's got some great hits on here. The hits that everybody. Heath's Lament, Gany and Joey, Dean Cross the Lane. Wow. So that's the first one out there. The next one, well, that was my album, and this is one of Deborah's albums. I hope she doesn't find that one out. This is from Virgin 749 from Virgin. And I think this is one of those ones when you had these Benny King, Percy Sledge, When a Man Loves a Woman, Respect, Sam and Dave, Soul Man. I think this made a sort of comeback in the 80s due to a couple of films, probably Blues Brothers and things like that. So they were put out on a vinyl. Everything was put out on a vinyl if it was going to sell. So this again, wow. Actually, this has had one of those poly bags in it, got a poly bag in it, and it looks like it's pretty much that looks in great condition. There was a bit of a feisty smell, but not too much, but much better than the other one. So actually, if there's any with poly bags in here, they might have survived a lot better than the other ones. Right, listen, I'm looking at them and I'm remembering how much I enjoyed these albums. Well, obviously not that Deborah's one. She put them into this collection, not thinking they would have got wrecked, even though I haven't listened to vinyl for a long time. So this one here, it's ruined. I mean, well, they're all ruined really, but just the thought of having to do this is just soul destroying. I don't know any other way to do it. I don't know if you can hear, I don't think you'll be able to hear that, but it's a really horrible noise that you know that this is going to completely destroy this to get these apart. I mean, I've got to do it eventually because I've got to get into these ones, and I've got the nurse's scalpel here, but I don't even think that's going to save this. Probably take my fingers off the boots. Like to say, I apologise to anybody who's watching this who's a vinyl freak. Um, has this happened to you? Oh my God. Well, these two have been really, I wouldn't care, they're brilliant albums as well. I've been listening to one of these albums. I've got all these on download, fortunately, and I've got some of them on CD as well. But unfortunately, some of them only are available to me on album. So this one here, this is a kind of, look at that. I mean, look, this is when Anthrax first met up with Joey Belladonna when he first got into the group, and they did this kind of extended play. They went back to some of their older album, Motor songs, and they went and recorded in the studio Armed and Dangerous, Raise Hell, God Save the Queen, believe it or not, Metal Thrashing Mad, and Panic. Panic is the best song on here by far. It's got amazing double bass drums. Charlie Benante, who's there, is now in Pantera, but he's one of the best thrash metal drummers of all time for me. Hmm. I thought that was a polybad. Although they're in, uh, well, I thought because that one looks quite good, but it doesn't look quite good on this side. See the disc. I mean, when you see the disc, you know how well I looked after these. There's the window. It's a shot you don't see, isn't it? That's what I see when I see I'm looking out the window and there's someone looking at us from a window. Yeah. Obviously, I will take these away, the ones I've got out from this pack. There's loads of them. I think I've got probably about 200 of them. Well, I'm hoping it's under 100 that's like that. Wow. And then another album of theirs, Persistence of Time, which is, I would say, 1990. Even if you thought, I'll just put one of these on the wall. No. Maybe the only thing you could maybe do is just cut off the bits that aren't bad, and you can maybe make a freeze of them and stick them somewhere in the studio and have a remembrance of it, something that was really good. And you might not, you might not see, if you could put them things on like that and just have them like that, maybe that's something you can do with them. I don't know. I'm sort of really, it is depressing. I mean, it's one of those, you think, why do it? I know I've got to do it. I've been putting it off for years, and I thought, well, I'll just put it on here. But what I want to do is hopefully someone's going to tell me before I go well into these ones, and I don't think anyone will have the answer to this. This is how you get rid of that. And you can make it, you can make them, well, not good again, but this is what I would suggest you do. So, four in, and wow. So I'll not make this too long. This is probably going to be something you think, well, it's just me waffling, but it's basically just saying help. So there's a couple here. I'll not go back into them albums yet. I think there's 12 inches in there as well. So these are ones that I got out the other day, and I kind of got away from, the pack. So big fan of OMD, Orchestral Maneuvers in the Dark. I've got every single they released from 79 to about 88. I've got all of them. But great thing is my vinyl singles never got touched. So they're all in perfect condition. So that doesn't look too bad. Red frame, white light, about a telephone box that was outside their house. Then a 10-inch record, Messages. Love this song. I love all OMD songs, especially the early songs. On here as well, it's had OMD are quite good for having good B-sides and that, or different B-sides. You've got on here, you've got the B-side of Waiting for the Man, which is the Lou Reed song, or should I say a Velvet Underground song, and Taking Sides Again, which is a remix of Messages. But Waiting for the Man, they do a great version of it. I forgot that was on there actually when I'm looking at it. So I like a good exclusive B side on these. That's the Messages. Next is Enola Gay. Now, sometimes in when they had 12-inch records out, you bought the 12-inch record and you thought, oh, can I wait to hear an extended remix of this song? The B side is Annex and Enola Gay. These are two songs. Now, I like to have an exclusive B side. Now, this one is available on the album Organization. Great album, one of my favorites. And so you don't get anything new at all on this 12-inch. And also, the Enola Gay and Annex are exactly the same versions you find on the single. But the only thing about this is that when you put the 12-inch version on, the 12-inch vinyl, for some reason, and there will be a reason behind it, it seems to sound much better than an ordinary vinyl single, 7-inch. And a lot of people say that. A lot of people would put their records out, Public Image Limited, Metal Box, on 12-inch vinyls because they think they're better than the 7-inch versions or the album versions. So there you go. Oh, so this Secret Heart, I think, is it Motion and Heart? Great song, that. One of my granddad's favourites. That one, I think, is one that says the Amazon version, so I think that's slightly different. I don't think it's as good as the album version. And Sacred Heart, I can't remember that song, but I think it is an exclusive B-side. These 10-inch records were so different. I used to love them when the band did it. I don't know why they did it, but sometimes it did. And the last one on this video, not so it's not long, and do know there will be more parts of this, and you'll be able to see that this collection. I do know that they're not going to look in the best of shapes. So just imagine they look like this all brilliant. Just unfortunately, you don't want to see that in it. There's a lot of that. And the last one on here is going to be Joan of Arc, OMD. Not much going on in the back. Had a great version. It was at this on Made of Orleans. Had a great version, which I imagine I'd never saw before at the time I was picking stuff up. And I got it, and I thought, I always used to think to myself, before you knew if anything was worth anything, way back in the day, I used to always think to myself, I bet this is worth some money. But I've never seen anybody else have it. That's in quite good condition, actually. Not bad at all, considering. So I'd imagine most of these 12 inches and stuff that look good, the vinyl that will look good will play well after being cleaned up a bit. So on here you've got Joan of Arc, as you can see, with a massive run-in on there. This is not an extended version. And on the B side, you'll have, yes, my favourite OMD song, The Romance of the Telescope. Now, people say, there's some great OMD songs, but Romance of the Telescope is just a really like a slow dirge. It's a really odd song, but for some reason, I just think it's absolutely brilliant, and I just love it. Yeah, but what people say when they hear of all the hits, and they say, you like that song? It's so odd. And I'd say, well, I don't know, I just like it. So yeah, so that's the start of that's part one. So part two will come up, and I'll be able to show you more of these amazing, I consider them amazing versions, but well, unfortunately, they're not in amazing quality. So there you go. To recap, Joan of Arc, Souvenir, or Sylvania, what I should call it, which is wrong. Enola Gay, Messages, 10-inch. Red frame, white light. I used to love all this type of thing. One day. Anthrax, Persistence of Time, which looks like that's the one that's come off the worst in this batch. Wow. Unbelievable. Anthrax, Armed and Dangerous EP. Atlantic Soul, 15 hit tracks. And Angelic Upstarts, Best of the Angelic Upstarts, Angel Dust. Now, it's funny because I know I've got some good vinyl, which I've looked through a little bit, and they play really well. And I'm thinking, sometimes I'm hoping, say for instance, if I wanted this one, I'm thinking, oh, I remember this album. I would love to hear it. I really hope it's in the good section. But when you say it here, you just think, oh, no, it's in the bad section. I mean, there's loads of albums here. There's what I'm looking at, which actually this hasn't got a vinyl in. So, for whatever reason, The Pleasure Principle, Gary Newman, who I've started 199. So I've started getting back into his early stuff. I think his early stuff's really good. Although the album I Assassin, I've got 12 inches probably of and the stuff from that album. Used to think it was brilliant. Used to always collect Gary Newman songs, in the early days. And this is well, the vinyl is probably going to be there something, but yeah, look at that, absolutely terrible. So anyway, so this is going to be it's a different video. I know it is just me waffling on for half an hour about the stuff that's absolutely wrecked. And it's honestly, every time I take one off, I think there's another better one behind it, and I think, oh, I can't believe this, but it is what it is, I suppose. And hopefully, during the course of these videos, maybe the next time I come on and do one of these videos, I can say, listen, I've got a little trick, or someone's told me something about this, or I've found this out, or I've cleaned this vinyl up. That's what it used to look like. This is what it now looks like. And this is how I'm going to store it. So there might be, I'm hoping there's going to be not the best solution to this, but I'm hoping it's going to, at least make this vinyl collection playable again. What I'm trying to do, what I'm going to do is my vinyl, my record player that's in the house. I've got two. but the other one that doesn't play very well, the vinyl turntable, I'm going to buy a new vinyl turntable, and I'm going to try and get through some of these records and give them another airing. So, on that note, thanks for watching. You take care, and I'll see you in the next video. Cheers.